Thanks for watching Matthews Daniel Atlantic Weather Briefing. I'm meteorologist Gonzalo Agudelo. We're going to give you an update on the tropics right now, starting with Hurricane Gaston right now. You can see Gaston tracking back to the northeast along the central North Atlantic right now. It's been kind of weakening over the past couple days. Over the past day, it's finally now a 75 knot Category 1 storm. The system for a while had been a pretty strong major Category 3 hurricane. I think the maximum highest winds with the system were about 105 or 110. It's a Category 3 intensity. System is interacting with the trough of low pressure to its north and northwest, as you can kind of see a little bit well here on satellite imagery. There's this long extended area of low pressure has been interacting with Gaston, and that's been helping to weaken the system a little bit. The system continues to track to the northeast and east-northeast towards the Azores right now. There's actually a hurricane watch for those areas as Gaston kind of approaches that region. Gaston, though, has been the longest-lived storm in the Atlantic since Nadine in 2012, so the system had been lasting for quite a long time. Has not ever at this point been a threat to any landmass over the United States. It did come relatively close to Bermuda, but it did deflect to the northeast in response to this tropical low pressure sweeping it to the east. Aside from that, we had Tropical Depression 8. That system got relatively close to the Outer Banks of North Carolina before being swept off to the northeast as well. And the system has finally dissipated into a remnant low. The area of showers and thunderstorms are well displaced from the center of circulation, and therefore the system no longer features tropical characteristics. So this system is long gone now. Now we are going to be talking about what was Tropical Depression 9, formed yesterday afternoon as Tropical Storm Hermine. Hermine now looking a little bit nice on the satellite presentation, getting pretty close to Panhandle of Florida, Big Bend of Florida. If we take a closer look at the system, you can see how it's starting to really start banding kind of nicely. You see the center of circulation right over here. Although most of the showers and thunderstorms, most of the strong convection is to the east of the system, that's because on the west side of the system, there's still quite a bit of dry air that's been impeding on the system, keeping it from the showers and thunderstorms from firing up. So most of the threat is going to be on the right side of this system. We might see a little bit of wraparound, though, as the system continues to the northeast once before it makes landfall. So there might still be a little bit of showers and thunderstorms that form on the west side, but as of right now, the biggest threat is on the east side of the system. So all throughout Panhandle of Florida, Big Bend of Florida, we're going to be seeing some flooding in response to heavy rainfall, flash flooding as well. There's probably going to be some threat and risk of an isolated tornadoes throughout the region, and storm surge, of course, we can't leave that out as well. Now, in terms of the track of this system, it gets a little bit complicated, but taking a look at the NHC official track, once the system makes landfall over Florida, either later tonight or overnight Friday morning, it doesn't end there. The system is going to continue hugging the southeast coast of the United States throughout eastern Georgia, eastern South Carolina, as well as North Carolina as well. And the system could continue to bring tropical storm force winds over in these areas, strong waves, and as well as strong rainfall throughout that region. Now, where Hermine is located as it continues to track to the northeast, it's pretty critical because if the system stays over land as it continues to track northeast over the southeast United States, we could probably expect the system to remain a tropical storm or weaken into a tropical depression probably as it continues to the northeast. And some of the risk might be a little bit more minimal, but if the system gets a little bit over water near where the Gulf Stream is, and these waters are relatively warm, the system we could see some re-intensification. We could probably see maybe some more tropical characteristics reforming if it gets a little bit into the far western Atlantic. Now, in the long range, the system looks like it's going to be continuing to track to the northeast, but late weekend, early next week, it starts to get a little bit fuzzy in terms of the exact track of the system. The system could be meandering around the northeast United States, and that could be of concern in those areas. We're going to have to really watch that closely and see how it kind of evolves throughout this the end of this weekend into the weekend as well. And we'll continue to follow that. Elsewhere in the tropics, though, it looks like there's not too much going on if we look around the main development region. We do have a tropical wave that exited Africa a couple of days ago. You can see it here on satellite imagery, not really looking too well. There is a lot of dry air that came off the coast of Africa um, in relation to the Saharan air layer, and what that tends to do is suppress a lot of upward motion. It tends to dry out a lot of the air, and so that's not very good for tropical cyclone development. So it looks like this area, a low pressure, this tropical wave, is probably not going to see any significant development in the next few days. As the system continues to the west towards the Leeward Islands, that's where we might see better chances of the system forming into something, as there's more moisture over in this region. So we'll have to watch that closely. We'll keep you posted though. And that's it for now. If you have any questions or would like to see another area included in our global weather briefing, please email us at weather@mattdan.com. Thanks, and stay tuned tomorrow for our next update on the Atlantic.